SpaceX's Starship rocket flew halfway around the world yesterday, accomplishing a key demonstration of its ability to carry heavy payloads into low Earth orbit. The successful launch builds on two previous flights last year. Thursday's flight tested Starship's payload bay door and performed a precursor test of an in-orbit refueling system. Photos from the launch are available in the article. ByteDance may have to sell TikTok in the US if a proposed bill passes the Senate. Some high-profile investors, including former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, online video platform Rumble, and former Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, have expressed interest in acquiring the app. This article presents a list of known potential buyers along with a primer on companies that have previously tried to purchase TikTok. Researchers have engineered a cow capable of producing milk that contains human insulin. This could result in an alternative for insulin production. The process involves inserting human DNA coding for insulin into cow embryos. It could dramatically simplify the process and cost of producing the drug. A single cow can produce enough milk every day to supply thousands of type 1 diabetes patients with their daily insulin for an entire month. Scaling up production, ensuring the health and welfare of the transgenic cows, and navigating regulatory approvals are still huge challenges that lie ahead before the process can replace conventional methods of insulin production. EVO is a long-context biological foundation model capable of both prediction tasks and generative design, from molecular to whole genome scale. The model generalizes across the fundamental languages of biology, DNA, RNA, and proteins to generate DNA sequences using a context length of 131K tokens. It is based on Striped Hyena, a deep signal processing architecture designed to improve efficiency and quality over prevailing transformer architecture. A playground is available where users can generate DNA in their browsers using EVO. Building a time zone conversion layer on top of a datetime library sounds like an easy task, but it isn't. This article lists 21 misconceptions about time zones the author had before attempting to write a time zone conversion app, as well as extra misconceptions from readers. These misconceptions include thinking that there are more countries in the world than time zones, that every time zone has exactly one agreed upon name, or that time zones are always offset from UTC by an integer number of hours. The singular skill that ultimately decides the success of a leader and their team is pacing. Leaders must be in tune with their and their team's abilities and stamina. The first HTTP draft had only one method, GET. There were no headers or status codes, and the only data format available was HTML. The protocol has evolved significantly since then. HTTP 3 is designed for unstable connections, resulting in performance trade-offs. HTTP 2 offers better performance on reliable and stable connections than HTTP 3. Servers can accept both HTTP 2 and HTTP 3 connections, so clients can make the decision of which version to use. AI-native products and companies are growing faster and engaging users more deeply than ever before. Over the coming decade, AI will likely underpin category-defining companies. This article examines data on the most popular generative AI products to uncover patterns on how consumers are using the technology. It looks at the rate of progress in the industry, emerging categories, hot niches, the mobile versus web split, and AI as a global pursuit. Titles help normalize pay ranges and allow for progression and evaluation. People who are not job hoppers or get stuck in the same company and title due to laziness, comfort, or other reasons are unfortunately prone to the curse of the senior software engineer. This is when an engineer who has been senior for too long finds themselves between two worlds upon their next job search. They are too senior to be hired as a senior, or they have too little leadership experience to be hired in a leadership position. Avoiding the curse involves either playing by corporate rules or exiting the game by switching to self-employment. Snapchat is experimenting with an infinite retention mode that will allow users to save their direct messages. Microsoft will allow business customers to transfer data out of its Azure cloud infrastructure with no egress fees to align with stipulations set out in the European Data Act, but only for customers looking to completely end their association with Azure. Expert witnesses on both sides of the case over whether Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto agree that much of the digital evidence provided by Wright is unreliable in one way or another. Dan Romero, the founder of Farcaster, a disruptive social network, talks in this interview about competing directly against Elon Musk, nerd sniping, prediction markets, and new business models. This page explains SpaceX's Dragon's docking and re-entry procedures.